Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. This is going to be like a follow-up to the video I previously posted, which was about beast mode fragrances. On the opposite direction, I have some fragrances in my collection which have performance issues. When I talk about performance issues, I am personally referring to longevity, the staying power, filling up a room, people smelling you. These fragrances will not necessarily give you that. Some have projection issues, some have lasting power issues, and some have both of these issues. Some of the fragrances I'm going to discuss are among my favorite fragrances of all time. I would forever want to have some of these in my collection. However, I will not recommend these fragrances for anyone looking for beast mode fragrances. Personally, I love these scent profile. I don't mind overspraying and topping up. If you don't want to go through that process of overspraying and reapplying, these are not going to be your fragrances. I will start the list off with the house, not just a particular fragrance, and this is going to be Paris Corner. I know by now if you are into Paris Corner fragrances, you can admit that they don't really give you that performance. Some actually do, like December Vanilla. For me, it is one of my top most projecting fragrances that fills up an entire room. It is one of those exceptions. It lasts, it projects, it fills up an entire building. However, Paris Corner have been known for their abysmal performing fragrances. Some of them do actually show up, but for the most part, if you are looking for beast mode, I will not recommend Paris Corner. Their dupes get it right like 95% of the time. If you're looking for an exact replica of actual, original fragrances, I'll recommend Paris Corner. But performance-wise, they really lack. And one such fragrance is going to be Not Stag Expression. This is my favorite orange fragrance. However, it lacks in the performance department. And in this one in particular, it lacks in the projection. When you first spray Not Stag, it is quite sharp and loud. For the first 30 to 45, maximum 1 hour, it projects, after which it just forms a scent bubble around you. However, it is going to linger on your skin or on your clothes, especially for about 6 or 7 more hours. It has that very mild, lingering scent bubble, quality, but it will not show up. It will not really give you that projection. It will not give you the beast mode. It is also a citric fragrance, and I don't think you should have high expectation when it comes to beast mode, projection with citric fragrances. And that is what I find in Not Stag Expression. It will give you beast mode for the first 30, minutes to 45 minutes. After that, it is going to be an entirely skin scent. It's so unfortunate that all my favorite fragrances are going to be on this list, and this one is going to be Metallico, also by Paris Corner. I love the scent profile. I love the fact that it doesn't give me any, ordinary, general, generic vanilla scent. It gives me a vanilla scent with a kick, with that metallic nuance in that aldehydes, and I love it. However, the performance is lacking. It doesn't project that much. You get a bit of a projection in the first hour, after which, it becomes a skin scent. And I spray on clothes, it can last me about 4 to 5 hours, and that is going to come with some heavy spraying. If I don't reapply after the 3rd, 4th hour, I hardly smell this one, I don't think I go nose blind to this, because sometimes when I, take off my clothes at the end of the day, I go back to them to smell it if I can, detect something. And Metallico has been one of those fragrances that after the days where I go back to it and I can hardly smell anything. I personally don't have any issue topping up, but if you are looking for beast mode, I will not recommend Metallico by Paris Corner. I also want to say that I have allowed a lot of these fragrances to sit for about 6 months, some like over a year. So every analysis I'm making about these fragrances in terms of their performance are based after their maturation period. The next fragrance is not going to be a Paris Corner fragrance. It's going to be a Lattafa, and this is going to be Liam Grey. It gives me a very light to moderate projection. It doesn't necessarily fill up a room. Even when you overspray this fragrance, it is not going to give you that performance you might be looking for. All it does for me is to give me that calming, spa-like scent bubble. It doesn't really project to me at all. I generally get about 2 hours on skin, after which I have to really fish out, to see if I can smell something at all. On clothes, it does better, but it is still not going to give you that beastly performance. The first 1.5 hours, you're going to smell this one. If someone wears it, and approaches you, you're going to smell it on the person. However, it is not going to be in your face. It's going to just form a very nice scent bubble. It is great for the office setting where you have shared spaces, and you don't want to offend, that the person next to your cubicle. Then you can go for something like Liam Grey. But if you want to present it as a fragrance for the outdoor, I don't think it's going to really cut it for you, because if you're going outdoors and you're going to, be competing with other fragrances, Liam Gray is not going to stand out. It is not really going to, be that fragrance that a lot of people are going to smell on you unless you heavily overspray. The next one I have here is going to be from Ard Al Zaafaran. It's been in my collection for almost 3 years, or a little above 3 years. And after that period, I still find it quite abysmal. And this is going to be Oud 24 Hours. Oud 24 Hours is a dupe for Tom Ford Black Orchid. It doesn't give me that richness and intensity that the original Black Orchid has. This one does not, It is quite mild, very watered down, like very, very watered down as compared to the original Tom Ford Black Orchid, but it's still going to give you that same scent profile. From my experience wearing this fragrance, it lacks in the projection department. It also lacks in the lasting power department. This one lacks both. It doesn't really project. As soon as you spray this one, even after 3 years, it doesn't give me anything like a moderate projection. It gives me like a very light to medium, sort of projection. It will not fill up a room. It will not do that for you. The scent profile is beautiful. That mushroom, chocolate, earthy nuance. I love it. The credit I will still give this fragrance is that it lingers. When you have it on, even after the 6-7 hour, you are still going to smell it, but very, very faintly. And even that, it has to be on clothes. On skin, as soon as you spray it, after about an hour or two, it is quickly gone. But on clothes, it lingers, at least 6 hours, 7 hours, you can get on skin, but it will not project. Nobody around is going to really smell you like Beast Mode Black Orchid. It's not going to give you that performance at all, but it's still going to give you a very nice scent bubble. So if you're looking for like a watered down version, if Black Orchid seems too polarizing and too strong for you, probably Oud 24 Hours might do it for you, since it is not as polarizing and as cutthroat beast mode as Black Orchid. The next scent I have here is going to be Adine by Pandora Scent Paris Corner. This is going to give you that projection for at least the first 2 hours, after which, it becomes a shadow of itself, very calm, Alien, as you know, is not calm at all. It gives you that exact scent profile as Alien. I'll give it to it for that. It will give you like 100% of that Alien, EDP, DNA. But after the first 2 hours, you really don't get to enjoy that Alien intense, jasmine, indolic jasmine scent. You don't really get to enjoy it that much, because it turns into a skin scent, and it doesn't really project that much. What I have realized is that the initial spray of Adine is quite loud, so you can't overspray. However, it quickly settles down, So what I do is I normally keep it in my bag. Maybe after the 2nd to 3rd hour, I top up, And I also layer it with my Alien EDT. I have the Alien EDT, and I prefer to layer them together to intensify the performance. But when I'm wearing this one on its own, I always have to reapply, because after the first 2-3 hours, I will not be smelling, that much of that Alien DNA. And I love it, so I always reapply. Other people always complain about performance of Nasheet, but I don't have that, issue at all. I don't think it's because I always reapply. Maybe because it is quite bright, and intense, especially the first few hours. I will personally not refer to Nasheet as abysmal when it comes to performance. It gives me an average of about 6 to 7, sometimes 8 hours, and that comes with overspraying. So personally, I don't have any issue when it comes to performance issues with this one. When it comes to being beastly, I think it is quite moderate. I personally don't have any issue with that, but a lot of people have said that in my comment section, so I just want to bring that to your attention. Infini Max by Alhambra is not a beast projector. It is not going to give you that beast mode at all. It is a musky fragrance, and I have realized that musky fragrances for the most part do not, give you that beastly quality. It is basically a skin scent. It should not give you much. It is something that you wear for yourself, not something that you wear for others to, smell you, or for others to notice your presence. But it also lingers, especially on clothes. On skin, it doesn't really do much, What I have noticed is that whenever I wear fragrances to bed, because I wear them, probably as soon as I wear them, I go straight to bed. I wake up in the morning and I still get those fragrances on my bed. But when such fragrances interact with the elements outside of your home, it is quite different. And Infini Max is, one of those fragrances. In the home, when I wear it, I smell it on me. It doesn't give me beast mode. It's just like a very nice scent bubble around me. When I wear it outside, I can hardly smell myself. It is one of those very close to the skin, gentle, light, forms a nice scent bubble around you fragrances. Another favorite of mine that is not going to give you the performance, it's not going to give you that beastly performance, it's not going to last you an entire day, it's going to be Eternal Max by Paris Corner. If I was looking for projection and lasting power, I would have written this one off like a long time ago. However, I love the scent profile. I don't mind reapplying at all, and it's one of those fragrances that I don't necessarily wear outside of the home. I prefer to wear this one, indoors, or maybe when I'm running like very simple errands. It is your skin but better gourmand musky scent, basically. If you are looking for ultra sexy seductress, Eternal Max by Paris Corner is not going to give you that. Another favorite of mine, which also gives me poor performance, is going to be Reyna by Alhambra. This in comparison to Ansam Gold, I think Ansam Gold performs, so much better. Ansam Gold is going to give you that intensity, that richness, that lasting power, that projection. This one, on the other hand, cannot be compared to Ansam Gold when it comes to performance. However, I prefer the scent profile of this one in comparison to Ansam Gold. It is not going to give you a stellar performance. It is quite mild. As soon as you spray this one in your skin, you can hardly detect it after the second hour. From my experience, after the 2 hour mark, I hardly smell this one on my skin. However, on clothes, it is so much better. It lingers, it doesn't really project. If you are around someone, they might probably smell you, compliment you because it's quite delicious. People can still smell you, but they need to be in close proximity to you. They will not smell you from the next room. Even with overspraying, it doesn't give me that stellar performance, However, longevity-wise, I think I'm going to give it to it. It lingers throughout, the life of the fragrance, which is about 8 to 9 hours. Sometimes when I, put my clothes down, I can even smell it like the next day, but it's not going to give you that, very intense beast mode performance that you might be looking for. It is an excellent one for like one-to-one interaction, maybe an office setting that you don't want to offend a lot of your colleagues. Maybe you share the same office with like quite a number of people. Then I'll recommend Reyna. But as a fragrance that you want to make an impression, want to go out, really make a statement, I don't think it is necessarily going to give you that unless you are in very close proximity to people. The next one I have here is going to be a designer perfume, and this I have had for like 3 years now. I don't even find the need to wear this fragrance because as soon as I spray this one, the next 13 minutes, I can't even smell it on myself again. And this one is going to be Goldia, the Roman Night Absolute. This is supposed to be a night absolute fragrance, but it doesn't give me anything dark, sultry, absolute. It gives me basic. It gives me everyday. It gives me vanishing powers. It doesn't have the staying power at all. After 3 years of maceration, letting this one sit, I still don't get it. Anytime I make my mind to wear this fragrance out, I quickly change my mind because I know for a fact that it's not going to give me that lasting power. It is a sweet one, it has plum and other, berries, quite delicious with some vanilla, but the performance is so lacking to the point that it doesn't really attract me to wear it. I think it is good for every day, quite a generic, plum scent, but I will not consider it, as a nighttime dark, absolute one. It doesn't give me that. Another fragrance I do not find deserves the name Noir is going to be Guess Seductive Noir by Guess. This is quite a simple fragrance. To me, it doesn't warrant the name Noir because there is nothing dark about it. It doesn't give me evening or night out, vibes. It is quite an everyday basic scent. To me, it is a good everyday fragrance. I'll not consider it as ultra sexy, dark, black, noir. No, as the name suggests, it doesn't give me that at all. However, what also puts me off about this fragrance is the fact that it doesn't really last. It doesn't have the lasting power at all. It is quite a good projector, maybe in the first 1.5 hours, after which, it becomes almost a skin scent. It feels like it could have done so much better if, they had given it something to amp up the performance, because the scent profile is very beautiful. I spray and overspray this fragrance, but as soon as I, get out of the house after about an hour, I hardly smell, anything on me. It feels like I guess did some body spray or body mist. I know it is an EBT, so I'll pardon it for that. However, it doesn't warrant that name Noir because it is not dark, it is not, potent, it doesn't give me a punch. The scent is beautiful, but the performance is very abysmal. Bint Hooran by Ard Al Zaafaran is just okay to me. I would not consider it as the greatest fragrance, I have come across. The scent profile, I love. The performance, I really do not love. I like, it is okay to me. I don't mind overspraying and topping up. However, it will not give you anything beastly as compared to the original Good Girl, which to me I find is quite, a good performer. This one is like a little dialed back when it comes to the performance. On skin, it will give you about 1.5 hours, after which, it mellows down. Whilst on clothes, it will give you about 3 hours, of being quite a moderate, projector, after which it dials back and becomes quite a skin saint. Even after 1 year of maturation, Bint Hooran still doesn't give me that performance I would have loved to have. It is still not bad at all in comparison to some of the other fragrances and one that I'm about to show, after this one. But it will still not give you that stellar performance. However, I think it is quite an okay one if you're looking for quite a moderate, everyday office wear scent. I think I'll recommend this one. If you are going on a one-to-one date, for example, I would say go for Bint Hooran. But if it's like a group date or a group activity where there is going to be like lots more people with like lots more fragrances, I think you can, amp up something else. It will not really outshine a lot of other fragrances unless people are wearing something which is also very mild, that is when this one is going to shine. However, on a one-to-one date, I think this is excellent. Performance is good but not great. I didn't want to start a video with this fragrance because every single person talks about how poor the performance is. Choco Max by Rehab, after more than 2 years in my collection, macerated, it still doesn't give me that performance. I understand the oil version is quite better than this one. However, I don't have that one, but I prefer to stick to the spray version. I consider it as something you throw on if you quickly want to grab something and come back to the house. It is not going to last you anywhere 3 hours plus, and sometimes that is all you need. Probably you get hanging out briefly with someone and you don't want to do anything at all, but you still don't want to feel naked. So you grab something like Choco Max just to have an aura of fragrance around you. And the last fragrance I have here is going to be with a little twist. I have heard on several occasions that Lush Cherry by Tom Ford is quite, a poor performer. However, when it comes to Lush Cherry by Fragrance World, I cannot say that for it. This one didn't do that to me. It gives me a very decent, moderate, projection and lasting power. I was a little surprised by that because I was expecting this one to last me maybe 2-3 hours. However, when I spray this one on, especially on clothes, it lasts me at least 5 hours, The cherry in this one doesn't go away. It lingers. I get about 5 to 6 hours from Lush Cherry. It is quite intense. I was expecting to get a bad performance from it based on the experiences from others who have the original Lush Cherry, but that has not been the experience when it comes to Lush Cherry at all. It is quite a good one. It's not going to give you 10 hours plus or 24 hours plus, but I'm saying this in comparison to the original one, which has been known to have very, abysmal performance. This one is going to give you a very moderate 5 to 6 hours when you overspray this one, and it's also not cloying at all. That bit of a medicinal twist to it, but I still love it anyway, It is quite good. It doesn't give me any abysmal performance at all. It is not a super projecting fragrance. Even if you prefer not to top up, after the 3 to 4 hour mark, people are still going to smell Lush Cherry on you. These are simply my personal experiences. I don't know if you have any of these fragrances and how they have, worked out for you. I would love to know. Just let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for your presence here, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye-bye.